In this video, I'll be discussing Mount and Blade Bannerlord and whether it's worth the hefty price tag. After 10 long years of waiting, Mount and Blade fans are finally able to purchase the prequel to the original Mount and Blade warband in the form of Mount and Blade Bannerlord. The question on most returning fans' mind, or even those who are thinking about getting into the game for the first time, is it worth the hefty £39.99 price tag? After 100 hours of gameplay, reviewing everything from first-person battles to the politics of the game, this review is my comprehensive guide to everything the game has to offer. Starting the game. The player starts off in the same island as the original game, Calradia, 200 years before the events of Mount and Blade Warband. They are able to take a starting quest with tutorials on how to fight, hire men, and buy goods. By the end of the tutorial, they are given their meta quest for the game, which is to rebuild their clan and gain a standing in the world of Calradia. By tutorial standards, the first quest is not hugely imaginative or creative for returning players, but is clear and easy to understand for anyone starting the game for the first time. As well as this, much like the original game, the player is given the option to skip the tutorial and jump straight into more complex gameplay. So let's take a look at graphics. Mount and Blade Bannerlord provides a huge jump in graphic quality from the original, as we would hope, seeing as it's being released 10 years later. Realistic cloth and lighting mechanics on the player and AI characters brings character models to life and adds a huge level of immersion for the player, as they're able to more realistically see their character moving around the world. The map has also seen a huge jump in graphic quality, with the bird-eye view travels from destination to destination, no longer feeling arduous as you are able to take in the water erosion on the mountains and the hyper-realistic rock formations. As well as this, the quality of graphics is scalable in the graphics section of settings, allowing a wide range of players with different price setups to play the game. So let's take a look at combat. The combat in the game may be one of the most drastic changes seen from the original. No longer can the player spam left click in order to repeatedly stun enemies and rack up a huge kill count. Mount and Blade Bannerlord provides a new hit system in which striking different areas of the enemy's body does varying amounts of damage based on location and speed. Weapons now have speed, length and weight factors, forcing the player to think carefully before selecting their weapons of choice in the loadout. And perhaps the biggest change to the combat system, the enemy AI now reacts to the player readying up a certain strike or hit and will react accordingly. Although AI difficulty can be scaled in the section setting of the game, there is now a far higher bar available for seasoned players looking for a challenge. The final change in combat, and my personal favourite, is the siege overhaul. Players now have the option to build either siege towers or battering rams, or both, at the expense of added time to the preparation for the siege. They can also build ballista, catapults and trebuchet to break down the walls and kill enemy soldiers before they lead their men in attack. This adds a huge level of strategy to sieging that wasn't in the original, and contributes to a greater sense of pride or despair when the player goes on to win or lose. So let's take a look at politics. The politics of Mount and Blade Bannerlord have unfortunately not seen a great change as the other aspects of the game. Although various lords and ladies now have a more complex relationship system with which they can base an opinion of the player, the majority of politics falls under three categories. The mercenary, in which the player fights for a faction and receives gold in return, but gets to hold no land. The vassal, in which the player is sworn to a king or queen, much like a lord, and gets to hold land, generating their income from tax. And the final and most difficult stage, king, where the player strikes off and creates their own kingdom, having to defend against any faction that would do them harm. Whilst this creates hour after hour of happy gameplay, returning players may be disappointed by the lack of change. In conclusion, Mount and Blade Bannerlord is an impressive, albeit long-awaited addition to the Mount and Blade series, and does not lack for content or quality. The smooth UI and breathtaking graphics truly allow players to lose themselves for hour after hour of gameplay. Returning players may, however, see more of the old tropes than they would like in politics and story element of the game. But it's important to remember that the game is still in its early access state, and so is far from being its best self. Mount and Blade Warband spent 5 years in its own early access state, so there's definitely a lot more content to come. If there's one thing you can be certain of, is that the £40 price tag is not overselling itself. The game has hundreds of hours of playability and does not lack for fun. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. If you did, please leave a like on the channel because I'm still growing it. And if you have any suggestions on how I can improve the quality of the channel or any topics you'd like to see me cover, please comment them down below. I'll also be linking to my blog down below, where you can find exclusive content that isn't on the channel and also some exclusive interview with game developers. Thank you.